Mhm. The worst part about the Knicks winning a championship has to be all of the automatic doubters and BS narratives that I'm seeing now that it's happened. I just saw a headline that said the Knicks would have to trade for Jokic. I didn't finish reading past that. Like dead ass. Brothers and sisters, mothers and misses, blankets and blisters, like to welcome you to the garage, home of the worldwide mechanics. I'm your lead mechanic, Mac Rishon. As always, starting it off, you know what we need to do. Hit the hype, hit the like, hit the sub. That's how you show your boy love. And I want to start off by apologizing for not managing to go live when we had Al Bial in the studio, but we did an amazing interview. If you head over to my IG, you can see that I'm not lying. It was a really good conversation we had with the guy, and talked about him going after people, and talking that snitch talk and all that good stuff, and how he can't stand it. I feel like I held my tongue on a couple of occasions because his truth, little piece of wisdom. If you ever get into interviewing other people, just know that their truth is more important than your opinion. Albial's truth was more important than my opinion. So me sitting there pretending as if I was going to me saying anything that would have negated his truth, or conflicted with his truth in that time, it's not my that's not my job. That's not what I'm supposed to be doing. Calvin, what up? Big Sugar, thank you. L, I like that. If you're new in here, put a one in the chat. I like that, L. That's not bad. If you're new to the room, I can see the number of folks we got in here versus the number of likes that we got. Disappointing. And I can also see the number of folks we got in here versus the number of people that are commenting. If you're new to the room, go and throw one in the chat real quick. Let me know that you're in here. And let me know where you're from, because I'm always super interested. We got mechanics checking in from all across the globe. Shout out to Big Sugar in Florida. Shout out to Calvin Campbell, the homie out in the UK. Shout out to LR Blitz, big Brooklyn representative, all day. Yes, I'm talking to the lurkers. Better be some whole shaved frozen lemon in that water. There is not. But that's not a bad idea. One time for the ATL. L salute. One time for Atlanta. We pull them in from all over the place, man. I love it. I love to see it. Uh Looking frosty. Yeah, it's because I keep that water a certain way. That's literally the only thing, one of the few things in life I drink. The list of what I don't drink is way bigger than the list of what I do. Um, Sliced cucumber and mint leaf will be better in that water. Well, times you have some. Next time, bring it over. You bossing me around with my water. What is it with y'all? Indoors in Atlanta, World Cup got the city jumping. I'm not a soccer fan, but I almost wish I was just off the strength of how much excitement people seem to be getting from it. I'm not a bandwagon dude, but like I just don't enjoy soccer as a sport. But that's me specifically. And no disrespect to anybody who does. There's a handful of sports I don't enjoy. Um, B74, I see you. Earl Grey tea, coffee, and a ton of water. Well, Calvin, you're in the UK. I would expect one of my UK mechanics to be big on tea. That is the stereotype, after all. Push, what up? Good to see you. Thank you for pulling up. Um, I don't drink alcohol. Yo, Calvin, I've never drank in my life. I've never tried to drink before in my life. Never tried it. Got in a fight one time because this dude tried to sneak me something. Call us celebrating. I told him what I wanted. Came back to the table. He had a rum and coke on the table and thought that I wouldn't be able to tell that there was rum in the coke, especially since I asked him to grab me a ginger ale. And he couldn't understand when I flipped the table. I was young and dumb. 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 I would not do that today. I was young and dumb. Parade happening tomorrow. Champagne only, and I popped the bottle. I ain't sharing. Push, I feel you. Push, I feel you. I can't imagine you losing your temper. It doesn't happen often. It takes a whole lot. It takes a whole lot. And again, I was young and dumb. I cannot stress that enough. I was young and dumb. It's not a normal thing. Someone put gin in my water once. I did not react well. I don't drink or do drugs. Yeah, Calvin, it's same kind of thing. Same kind of thing. I had a very, very bad reaction to that. Me hitting him and him hitting the table is what flipped it, but I cut that story in half by just saying I flipped the table. But it was not a good look. Decades ago. Decades ago. I am a completely different dude. Completely different dude. More or less. Definitely wouldn't be swinging on nobody in the middle of a club. I just get up and leave. But man, listen, that day wasn't a good look. Um, Not a good time to say I drink 151 proof rum. Dude, you are drinking gasoline. 151 proof. You're drinking jet fuel. Your farts are probably flammable, bro. I need you to be careful. Sheesh. That's basically poison. Yeah, like, dude, 151 proof. 151 proof. I need that. Tristan, this is not going to work out for you, bro. Especially since you see how fast, bro, and you never even get the whole thing to, and it doesn't matter when you do, and you think that's going to insult me. Like, bro, your mother did not hug you enough as a child. Man, can you imagine people drinking moonshine? That is straight up gas. I don't have to imagine. I'm listening to L. I'm a lady. My husband says the same. I am Trini. Sis, sis, sis. Listen to your husband. And this ain't got nothing to do with the patriarchy, but for God's sake, the man is right. Listen to your husband. Good God, woman. Oh, come on now. My God. He's 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 worried you gonna fart near the stove and burn the house down. That's the problem. He's mad. He's a little nervous that you're gonna be cooking. You're gonna burp or fart too close to the stove You're gonna blow the house up. That's why he's nervous about what you're doing with your life. You a whole wife in here. You're gonna blow the house up. You're gonna blow 151, but you're gonna blow the house up. You're gonna blow the house up. Electric stove. I somehow when we're talking about 151 proof, I think you'll find a way. I think you'll find a way. I think you will find a way to blow the house up. Just too close to something. You just gonna let off some gas, and that 151 proof gonna be in there, and the house gonna look like the Titanic hit it. Opposite of an iceberg. I'm gonna call you St. Williams. St. Williams 709. Shout out to Memphis, Tennessee. One time. Thank you for pulling up, King. Hit the like and hit the sub. Come on, join the club. I didn't mean for that tomorrow. Hey, come on, join in here, man. Calvin, my thing is if I need alcohol and enjoy myself where I am, it's not worth being. I get that, Calvin. But some people here's the other thing. And Calvin, I probably don't need to tell you this, but I'm just gonna say it out loud anyway for anybody who may not. I probably don't need to tell you this because I know how big the West Indian influence is in the UK. However, I've I'm a native New Yorker, born and raised, which means I was born around people from all the islands, Trinity, Beijing, Barbados, all of them, right? And I know with a certain amount, I won't speak as an expert, but with a touch of certainty, just a little bit of certainty, I know that drinking alcohol is ingrained in West Indian culture. It's kind of a thing. It's not even seen as like it goes with the party. It's almost like the music. It just goes with the party. Anybody who's on here who's from the island, um, back me up. Back me up. Let me know if I'm bugging or not. As a guy with gray hair as well, still trying to skate. Curious if you are still skating. Okay, let's put a pin in that. Drewcore or Drocor. Bro, the color of your hair doesn't have anything to do with the ability you have. Like, it's not an indicator, bro. If you want to skate, skate. I haven't skated in years, but I live in a city that is not skate conducive, and I have like a lot of stuff popping that is more of a priority. So I haven't skated in years. Can I still skate? Absolutely. Where's it gonna, once you got it, where's it gonna go? I'm 47 and I still skate. I grew up skating in the 80s. Who has a problem with that? Let me know. JD, don't come in here with that. Nobody has a problem, man. Like, don't look for it. Don't look for enemies. You're not gonna find them in this room. We are very chill people in here. The mechanics, we all about culture, bro. So like whatever it is that you're doing, you good in here. You don't have to listen. You don't need disclaimers. You don't need to tell us how old you are. If you with it, you with it. I hate ageism. I despise ageism in all things, in all aspects, in all fronts. I wasn't talking about you, bro. I was responding to the person talking crap to you. I didn't realize it was somebody talking crap to me. My bad. But yeah, man, never worry about that. We grown folk in here. We grown folk in here, all up and down. I never ask anyone to tell me that what their age is because I come from a field where people ask you how old you are and what you do for a living and where you went to school so they can judge how much respect they need to give you. Kind of been like that. It's one of the reasons I don't give out any of that information. It's literally one of those questions that people ask you to size you up. Drop the biggie pen. I have the biggie pen. That's because Sugar told me to. It's literally those are like a section of questions people only ask because they're trying to figure out how much respect they have to give you. If you told them you're a construction worker and then said, psych, I lied, I'm a doctor, they're going to give you, and the respect that they have for you changes. Now you know what kind of folk you're dealing with. Shout out to Push Button Producer. Thank you for the super chat. $2, $2 super chat. He says Gym Talk, and he spells it GEM for those who can't see. Shout out to Push Button Producer, one of the original mechanics. Um, yeah, I'm never, I'm never here for how old somebody might be as a determining factor as to how much respect I need to give them, because there are people who are, you're grown, but you haven't done anything. People want respect just for surviving this long. And while I think there's a general human basic respect, I'm in this business, man. I've seen people who don't care anything about the culture, don't have any ties to the culture outside of finances, and they want respect. They want the same respect as somebody who is dedicated to this thing their entire run. And if somebody's had a job for 20 years and this guy's run is 5 years, but the 5 year guy is like super dedicated, guess who's getting my respect? B's on a bully foot. Well done, man. Good, good. Well, sugar gonna do what sugar gonna do. Sugar gonna do what sugar gonna do. Calvin in the '70s skates with metal wheels and skateboards with public transportation. Damn, damn. Do you remember those hot summer days when you couldn't make it to the beach and the fire hydrant water was the best thing on the planet? Oh my God, you gotta be a little ghetto, little urban to know what Tom is talking about. But if when somebody when the older kids had the tool to get the hydrant open, you scrape the cans on it so you could spray the water and control the flow. Oh my God! And that water was cold on those hot days. That water was cold in the hood. Everybody came downstairs. That and the ice cream man were like universal signs of summer. You know what I miss? I just had a little bite of nostalgia. Um, my grandfather was a fighter fire. He would shut it off after 10 minutes. Yeah, somebody would have to come along. You don't want the water pressure to be messed up. But as a kid, you didn't understand that. Mr. Frosty. We had Mr. Softy up here. Um, is that a real thing? We see it in movies, but didn't know if it was a thing. Calvin, it is 100% a real thing. It is. I don't know if they still do it. L, okay, L's got to go. Salute, L. Travel safe. Be safe. Enjoy your day. I'll see you back here tomorrow at 5 o'clock. But be safe, please. Um, yeah. Um, Calvin, it's 100% a real thing. Maybe is Softy. It was like 30 plus years. Yeah, it's Mr. Softy. You wasn't far off. It's not far off. You said Mr. Frosty. It's Mr. Softy. You ain't far off. I only know because I saw one the other day. That's one of my summer rituals. I have to get a cone from Mr. Softy. Have to. Vanilla ice cream cone with sprinkles. I got to do it at least once. Or maybe plain. Or vanilla cone with chocolate. No, vanilla cone with chocolate sprinkles. I'm doing that. I'm doing that. Um, I'll tell you, since we're going down this nostalgia path, I had a chocolate all day. All right, B, I hear you. Hey, listen, I'm no one to not advocate for Love and Chocolate. I miss Saturday morning cartoons. Don't ask me what made me think of that, but I miss Saturday morning cartoons. The best things in life. As a child, my childhood, Saturday morning cartoons, and it was a tail end of that. But oh my god, I miss it. Yes, it is 100% going down tomorrow. Slade, shout out to Slade One. Soul Train right after, then take your behind outside. Yeah, push and don't pull back up till way after the street lights was off. If it was summertime, especially if it was summertime, but it was a weekend. Like you was wilding all night. Um, yeah, tomorrow's gonna be different. I'm honestly torn about whether I'm going or not to the parade. I had to snap on Gap because he was like, "It's a once in a lifetime thing. We might never see this again." Oh, Negro, bite your tongue. Why you talking like that? Why you talking like that? Of course we gonna see it again. Don't be saying that. Chill out, bro. What's wrong with you? I want to hear that. The reason why I'm torn on going is because at Slade, I'm not going that far. I had to stop him. Like, bro, chill. Like, I honestly think Brunson has a few more rings in him, and that's just me being honest. Um, excuse me. They'll see more. Yeah, Slade, I'm with you. The reason why I'm hesitant to go to the parade is because it's going to be a shit show. It's going to be crazy. If you've ever, you gotta go. You gotta go. Got right though. Absorb that energy, but head on the swivel. See, I hate it when I gotta go someplace and have my head on the swivel. I prefer not to do that. And I don't know how many New Yorkers we have in here. Um, but most of us avoid Times Square just for the crowd, let alone going to Times Square on New Year's when the ball dropped. That's the kind of thing that New Yorkers do. Like you maybe you do it once just to say that you did it. Um, Wales, UK, Nago, Nago, salute. Thank you for pulling up. Much appreciated. We have another UK cat in here. Hopefully you like and subscribe. Hopefully you're having a good time. But hit the like, folks. Hit the likes. Hit the subs. That's how you show your boy love. I never went to see the ball drop. I'm good. See, Slade, this is what I'm talking about. The Knicks parade is going to be the exact same thing. The exact same thing. Like if you never went to go see the balls drop, the balls drop. Gat right now, his palms are itching. He can't. He would be hitting me with a pause right now. If you're never going to see the ball drop over New Year, I mean like multiple ball drops. If you've never going to see it, then the same reason you'd avoid that is the exact same reason I'm I'm thinking about avoiding the Knicks parade tomorrow. Um, yeah, no, I know that pause was crazy. Calvin, thank you. I know that pause was crazy. Thank you. Calvin Poison is extra funny. Main reason I'm going is because the Knicks won on my late mom's birthday. Oh, Slade. One time for the Queen. One time for the Queen. One time for the Queen. God bless, King. I feel you. God bless. One time for the Queen. One time for the Queen. I'm with you on that. I appreciate that, bro. Real spill. One time for your Queen, man. Like, God bless that woman and everyone she loved. Um, I seriously understand you wanting to go there. Yeah, no, show face. I get it. Listen, me specifically, crowds, not necessarily my thing. You dig? Not necessarily my thing. I like a crowd. when I'm on stage and I got a mic and they're over here and I'm over here and I'm doing my thing and the crowd is into it. But like being in a sea of people, an ocean of people, and the cops, the cops have this thing about putting barricades and barriers up along the sidewalk. It's gonna be packed, and there's only but so many directions you can move, and people have no home training. They'll stumble right into you. They're not paying attention. God forbid they've been drinking. God forbid they didn't shower before they came out. No sense of personal space, which is, you really can't ask for that when you're showing up to events like this. You can't ask for personal space, but people will legit like pack in and be all up on your neck. God forbid they didn't shower. God forbid they didn't brush their teeth. God forbid they don't have gum. It's just it's an issue. And then if you do have an issue with somebody, you can't really get away from them. They right there. Add to the fact that there are cops everywhere, and these motherfuckers be feeling like they just swarming, waiting, just waiting to get you. They can't. They just want you to act the fool. And I am 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, with gray stripes in my beard. Like I stand out. I'm not hard to spot. I stand out, and sometimes I feel like a target. Jerry B, I thrive in places like that. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. I used to have that. Y'all also subscribe to Mech's new podcast channel, the Mech and Gat Show on IG and YouTube. Thank you, Big Sugar. Much appreciated. Um, Thank you so much, Big Sugar. Much appreciated. Um, yeah, if you like people watching, this is definitely the place to be. But also, I had a look at the rules for the parade. The rules alone. First of all, there are only 3 entry points for the entire route. Second of all, the route is not. It's short. It's like, I think it's only like a mile and some change. It's not a long route. Third, I've been on that strip. Those sidewalks are not wide. It's narrow. Like the bottleneck effect is going to be real for the entire run. Fourth, they're not allowing chairs. Which was damn near a deal breaker for me right off the rip. The following items will not be allowed: all bags and backpacks. So you can't bring food, you can't bring water, you can't bring any of that stuff. Like bags and backpacks are out, which is crazy. Glass or metal water bottles, plastic bottles will be permitted. So you can only get plastic water. That's not so crazy, but dude, no bats or batons. Who the fuck is bringing a bat or a baton to a parade? Especially this ain't a baseball parade. Like, why would you bring it? The fact that they have to write it means that somebody did it, and the fact that somebody did it is another minus to me actually going down to this thing. Bicycles and scooters. I completely understand that. Shout out to the NYPD. Shout out to the good folk who handle their business when it comes to the parades, because there are people who will bring their scooters, bring their bikes, and those things take up space. And as narrow as this walkway is, you 100% cannot have a bike taking up space. That's corny. It's super inconsiderate. Chairs. You can't bring a chair, them folding chairs that we bring to the park or whatever, and just post up, and or like, God forbid, not God forbid, you might be going after a pair of sneakers and you staying overnight till the store open. You bring that little chair with you, fold it out. Like, you can't bring a chair, beloved. Like, I can't bring a chair or a cooler. Now, cooler I kind of get for almost the same reason as a bike. But you know what? If cooler could be a double up. You got drinks with you and you can sit down on something. But they know that New York is full of hustlers and there will be people down there selling water. selling plastic bottles of water out of big coolers, especially since they not letting you bring water in if it's glass or metal. So them dollar waters is gonna be going for like $6, $7 tomorrow. No drones, no pets. Man, this is gonna like you telling these gentrifiers and transplant New Yorkers they can't bring their dogs. That's going to eliminate a good chunk of folk. Who would bring a pet? Calvin, walk around New York a little bit. Walk around. You shouldn't. Me personally, I don't think you should be bringing a pet or a dog to this. Excuse me, a pet or a child to this situation. Miami peeps bring their pet anyway. It's ridiculous. Yeah, yeah, I feel you. I feel you. These new school, these gentrifiers and these transplants, they will 100% pull up with their dogs. The entitlement, perfect word for it. And I'm so cool on that. I promise you, I'm so cool on that. Yeah, I have serious. Why would you bring a child to something that crazy? Calvin, scroll up and look at what B74 wrote. Look at Big Sugar's words. Entitlement, bro. They don't think like that. The people we're talking about, the people who you have to make these kinds of rules for, you gotta make them for a reason. Stay home, go live with the mechanics instead, Meg. I'm seriously, Sugar, I'm seriously considering that. Dead ass. I have a better time with y'all off the rip. Dead ass, I'm thinking about staying home. I know Gat's going. I know a bunch of people who are going. I know a bunch of people on some old, I'm not gonna miss it type business. I get it. I get it. And I'm thinking about whether I'm gonna go or not. I'm serious. I'm seriously like, I'm seriously thinking about it. Okay, now that we've gotten through some of that, people do some stupid ass things, and when it goes left, they'll be the first to complain. Calvin, you are apt once again. Um, Now let's get down to the nitty gritty. How many people I got in here? 23 people. Okay, I want to hear from everybody in here. Don't if you've never spoken up in this room before, don't be shy. This is something I absolutely want feedback on, and I'm going to be watching the. Mac, do you have an opinion on the whole Jay Z Target talk? I do, I do, and that's going to lead exactly into what I'm about to ask you. Check this out, y'all. Later on this evening, I have an interview. Assuming he doesn't cancel, assuming everything goes smooth, I have an interview with Dame Dash. Um, yeah, is there anything you guys would like for me to ask Dame Dash? See, I didn't put that in the title because I don't want just anybody pulling up. I want to kind of use the title to throw certain folk off. But I want y'all to tell me. Um, yeah, I'm interviewing Dame tonight. It's going down. What would you like me to ask him? Give it some thought. You ain't gotta rush into it, right? You ain't gotta rush into a comment. But if you have some questions you want to ask, now's the time. Can he stop with the chatty patty behavior and just live his life? I I'm not sure he'll answer that one, but that's not a bad question. When are we getting State Property 3? Also a very good question. Does he have a plan on squashing the beef with Jay? I am going to ask him that, Sugar. That's on my list. I am going to work my way around to that. I think you're gonna handle that just fine. Oh, push! I'm not worried about the job I'm gonna do, but y'all are my people. If there's something that y'all want to know, I want to, kind of accommodate my folk. Y'all are my folk. So if y'all want something, like I'm trying to hook that up. Yeah, sure. It does seem like it does seem like that. Yeah, but like y'all, let a player know if there's something specifically that you wanted to hear from homie. Um, now's the time. I am interviewing Dame Dash in a handful of hours. I'm already like set and ready to go mentally. I'm just getting into space where I can handle my business and knock out some good questions. But if there's something that my folk, y'all, want to know, what does he think about the industry today as opposed to when he was with Rockefeller? I guess he'll probably tell us that, but that's I'm going slightly in that direction. Calvin, that's not a bad one either. Ask him, what does he honestly gain from continuing the so-called beef when it gains him nothing. Calvin, the problem is, I believe I know the answer to that question. What do we say in this room all the time, man? Attention is the new currency. What do you think beefing with one of the elite premier MCs on in the history of the genre is getting Dane, if nothing else, attention? Excuse me. I'd want to know who his favorite artists are outside of the public eye. That's a good question. I want to know what next venture he's bringing to the table and what impact he'll have, especially on hip hop. Well, I'm sure he'll tell us that, but that's also Slade. That's a good look. Um, other than attention, ask him what it does to help his rep and legacy. I think those two things. I think Calvin. I believe he sacrificed those two things for attention. Sugar, I'm not sure. I'm gonna do a little. I'm gonna do some more research before I go in. Um, but yeah, Calvin, I think he turned those two things over. I think he sacrificed those on the altar of attention. Unfortunately, Dame Dash makes it difficult to root for him. That's a fact. Which, considering all that he's done, it's a shame. That's also a fact. I got you, Sugar. I'll take a look. I want to know if he ever had a good relationship with Def Jam or if he was eyes with them always. Hmm. There may be a way that that can come up. There may be a way that that question can come up. Kraft, I think I remember that scene in the movie. He was specifically pissed because they gave Bleak, I believe, a Def Jam jacket, and he was mad that they're not selling. That they didn't give Bleak a rock jacket. Like, you want us to promote Def Jam, and he's not on Def Jam. He's on Rockefeller. That's a good question, Calvin. Does he honestly care anymore about his reputation and legacy? I think I know the answer to that, but his answer, I'd like to hear him answer that one too. That's a good question. That's actually a good question, Calvin. Um, yeah, that's why I wonder if he was always at odds with Def Jam. Seems like they wanted their brand over the rock. Well, um, that that would imply that he wasn't always at odds with them. That would imply that as the time went on and the relationship expanded, he became at odds with the new things that they would implement into the relationship. You have to figure that you have a guest. I mean, you have a you guys sit down and you have a mutual business arrangement that you make, a mutual partnership, mutually beneficial partnership. You figure, when they first started, everybody was enthusiastic about, how this could help both sides. And then as the relationship grew and time goes on, Def Jam, starts. Well, actually, both sides. Very possible for both sides to start, stepping on boundaries, overstepping people's boundaries, and that was one of Dame's. Like, stop trying to promote your label on the backs of my artists. That's for our artists to promote us, not you. Knock it off. You saying that it's love, but it's actually promo, and I'm not falling for it. Makes all the sense in the world. But you also keep in mind that the relationship didn't start that way. It started off with, okay, yeah, we got a partnership, and then you get familiar with people, and things become a little more relaxed, and the environment becomes a little more relaxed, and that's when certain people will, it'd be a great idea if we gave Memphis Bleak a Def Jam jacket to wear while he's on tour. That would be great promo for us. And Dame sees through it, and now they're arguing in front of the camera. Ask him, for a man who's always shown a level of integrity, does he honestly feel that his recent behavior is not just being childish and petulant rather than holding to what he seems to have stood for in the past? That's gonna come up too, Calvin. That's gonna come up too. Cause I gotta know, like, bro, what are you doing? That's the short version of your question. Bro, what are you doing? What is this? What are you doing? This is wild. Like, what are you doing, bro? This is crazy. What are you doing? Everything you just said cooks down to, yo, bro, what are you doing? Really? That's the even shorter version. Really? Bro, really? And Sugar just gave you another version of the same question. Seriously? Seriously? This is what we do? Seriously? Yeah, it's right there for you. With that said, um, right, but I think Calvin, there's a level of ego that interferes with intelligence. You think he's going to crash out, man? He might when I tell him what I think about this song, but we'll see if that comes up. In the meantime, in between time, brothers and sisters, mothers and misses, blankets and blisters, this is your man, Mac Rashawn, welcoming you and enjoying your time at the garage, home of the worldwide mechanics. As always, hit the hype, like, and sub. That's how you show your boy love. Make sure you hit that alert button because I'm going to be pulling up here again tomorrow at 5 p.m. I'll either be telling you about what happened at the parade or what's happening now. uh, I may go, but we'll see. And if I do go, I probably am gonna go live. So make sure you have the alert if you want to see what's happening in the belly of the beast. In the meantime, in between time, hang up your coveralls, hang up your tool belt. Let's get this thing off the rack and see where we at. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be cool, be safe, be loved, and I will holler at everybody at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Until then, the garage is officially closed for the evening. Everybody be safe. Peace.